Welcome everybody back to another one of our NFL team previews. We're going now down to Tampa Bay to talk about the Buccaneers. Second year head coach Greg Schiano started off 7-9 in his first season, but his second season is going to depend largely on the play of Josh Freeman. The former first round pick has really been variable in what you're going to get out of him. A few years ago he had 25-4 touchdown interception ratio, but lately he hasn't been as good. His completion percentage was only 54% last year, and he's turning the ball over at a much greater rate. Luckily for him, the pressure on him might be lessened if Doug Martin repeats his big season, and he could have an even bigger season with both of his guards becoming healthy and coming back. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but let's talk more about Martin. He had 1,900 all-purpose yards last year. He really had a breaking out game on that Thursday night football game against the Vikings. Huge season. Expect more of the same from the muscle hamster. Move to wide receiver, where they've got a very good pair. Vincent Jackson, the 6'5" deep threat, is a big physical talent, hard to cover. Mike Williams has a nose for the end zone. He's been there a bunch. He's been there 10 times and 9 times in 2 different seasons. And he's one of the better number 2 receivers in the entire league. We look at tight end, where they don't have a great option. It's former third-round pick Luke Stalker, the big tight end out of Tennessee, has yet to really get extensive playing time, so we'll see what he can do in his first year. Now they're getting 2 top 5 guards back, as I mentioned earlier. Carl Nicks at left guard and right guard Davin Joseph. Nicks missed half the season, while Davin Joseph missed the entire season, and those 2 guys are maulers. They are 2 of the best in the league. They are going to open up more lanes in the middle of the field. It's just going to give the Bucs one of the top interiors when you add in Jeremy Zuttah to playing center. On the outside, you've got Donald Penn at left tackle and DeMar Dodson versus former first-round pick and Outland winner Gabe Carimi at right tackle. So you're going to have a good line in Tampa Bay. Should be a good offense. We move to the defense, where it's based around 3rd overall pick Gerald McCoy. He was drafted a few years ago, and he keeps getting better as he keeps getting more playing time. But the question is, who lines up next to McCoy? On the ends, it's Daquan Bowers and Adrian Claiborne. Both have trouble staying healthy. Both have high potential, but both have yet to meet it. Claiborne has had more success. He had a good rookie year, while Bowers has yet to meet any success. His knees have been a big problem for him. Let's move to the linebackers. So they got 2 really good ones. Mason Foster is a very good all-around player, while Levante David is a very active player on the field. The big question is Dakota Watson, who has made only 3 starts over 3 years, so that's a big question mark. He's going to be one of the next to the player playing next to McCoy. That's the other big question. We go to corner, where they made the big trade for Darrelle Revis, gave him a big contract, and he's coming off a turn ACL. So we have to see, is he the same player that was one of the best corners in the NFL, or is he just a guy who's a good starter but not top guy anymore? Then it's a battle for the number 2 job. They drafted Jonathan Banks in the 2nd round, and then they have Leonard Johnson, who started 6 games last year. We'll see who wins the job, who's the loser, who plays the nickel. Moving to safety, they got a good first season out of their first-round pick last year, Mark Barron, the safety out of Alabama. He's going to be even better now that they signed Deshaun Golson to play center field. That's going to be great for them, because Golson not going to need to play over top Revis if he's healthy and back to 100%. So it's going to give help to one of the young and experienced safeties, or experienced corners, either Banks or Johnson, playing over top of them. Barron's going to be able to move around more, make more plays, take more chances. Move to move to special teams, where Michael Cohen is a very good puncher in terms of placement and not allowing returns, but he doesn't have the strongest leg. Derek Dimke has never attempted an NFL kick, and he's replacing Connor Bath, who tore his Achilles in a pickup basketball game. A big blow to the Bucs special teams. Overall, I think this team just misses out of the playoffs at 9-7, an improvement from their 7-9 record, and that's how I see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.